The 818th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog just launched their new ladders game where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Plus, when you use promo code MMA SGPN, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 818 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to one of our friends on YouTube, Brian Rogers, who says, my man Gumby with the upset pick on Quang Lee. Nice one. And then you had to throw in, so I didn't feel bad. And Chalks reeling it in with the Jillian pick. Yes, Jillian Robertson looked amazing. So thank you, Brian Rogers. Thank you, everyone else, for watching and/or listening. I'm Lil Campster, Jeff Fox. Not hamster, Campster. Welcome to the episode. I'm going to call this episode, it's the LFA sandwich, with PFL being the bread. PFL yesterday, LFA today, PFL tomorrow. So it's an LFA sandwich. We got LFA 208 going down this coming weekend. We're going to break it all down for you today. I'm not doing it by myself. I could give you like resume picks, but I have someone who actually watches tape, which I don't have time to do. I guess, or interest. Let's be honest. Or interest. It's one and only Daniel Gumby Vreeland. Hello. He has interest and time apparently as well.
I watch the tape so other people don't have to. That's
exactly.
My
there you go.
Yeah. Like you guys are watching this tape so you don't have to watch 3 hours of Adland Benson 6'7" frame throw weak knees.
Gumby was already complaining about him off air, and he's bringing it on air as well. So
yeah, he let me down once, so I get to razz him a little bit.
It's very, very true. Yeah, so you made some. It was kind of religious connotations there that you do this like you died for our sins type of thing. You watch.
I don't know if it's that heavy.
Well, that's what it reminded me of. And it used to be the Gumby thing used to be much more of a cult type thing. People were calling you their savior, and they were sacrificing.
The Gumby God was a real thing.
Gumby God, yes.
The Gumby God was back for Ryzen. I gave out five official picks for Ryzen. One fight canceled, 4-0 on the other ones. 3 of them, including all 3 of the heavyweight tournament fights that wound up coming to fruition and actually going through. All 3 of them, we got dog money on them, and all 3 of them cashed. So that was a pretty big card right there.
Do you know where you are for the year with regional? You're in the
just
black
a little over.
Sure.
Yeah, a little over 7 units now.
Oh, it's getting up there.
Which is good because we were hovering around even money for too long. And if we want to catch our 45 units last year, or even the 20 units we were
the year before, I think. Right?
Yeah, 2024 years the year before. If we're gonna get up in those numbers, we had to start making moves. It's May, so Ryzen helped us make moves.
You got a couple months to get yourself up there before the halfway mark. So at least get to 12 by the end of June. How about that? That will be that will be the goal, unless Adland Benson screws you over again this week, right? Well, who knows?
I don't think he's gonna this time.
We'll see. We'll see. I was assuming you're picking him, but he can screw you over even if you don't pick him, then you win. So
that's true.
All right, before we let you know who Gummy's picking, little help from you people. If you haven't already, make sure you support SGPN's free content by taking a second to give us 5 stars and subscribe wherever you are catching this content, not just our show, any other shows on SGPN that you enjoy, or even ones that you hate. It would help us out. All right, LFA 208, Mecate versus Reyes, Santa Cruz, California, May the 9th, which is a Friday. We just got you a PFL event and starts 11:30 a.m. Friday. That one will wrap up. You can get yourself up and eat. And then 7 p.m. Eastern, you can hop into LFA, which is quite early, especially for a West Coast event for LFA. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Anyhow, it's going down in the Kaiser Permanente Arena. We've talked about this arena before, I believe, right?
Yeah,
in Santa Cruz. Yeah. Kaiser. Who's Kaiser? Do we?
I don't know.
Kaiser
I think I want to say it's an insurance company or something like that. Whatever it is, they do a lot of advertising on the Braves radio network.
Oh, that's how you know.
I listen to Braves games like on my earphones when I'm running, or sometimes when I'm in the car, I have them on the radio. And Kaiser Permanente does a lot of advertising on there.
And I was thinking with some historical figure I didn't know of, but no, it's probably just insurance firm, which is more than likely true. All right, so it's Friday, 7 p.m., as I said, in Santa Cruz, California. 13 fights. We are not covering all 13. I won't even make that joke today. We do have 5 in full, and then we have plenty of fights.
I got 3 bonus rounds for you.
3
lightning rounds that I like here.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like this fight card, or is this mediocre for LFA? Or
there's a lot of people I like.
Okay.
And
not matchups though.
Yeah, I think less so in matchups. Like it seems almost like they're just testing a handful of their guys just to see.
Yeah.
Like, are you ready for Contender Series in the fall? And like I think most of them are going to pass with flying colors, but that's sort of going to be the question we ask.
All right. Maybe at the end of the episode, we'll see who Gumby is most high on for moving forward into at least Contender Series. We're kicking things off with a middleweight bout. Joseph Kropschot versus Adland Benson. A couple of fantastic names. They're both American. No odds yet for LFA, but they will drop midweek. And our friends at mybookie.ag will definitely have all the odds for you there. Let's tell you about tall boy first, Adland Benson. He is 6'7". So he is a tall boy, taller than me, taller than Gumby, and he's 185 pounds. I am not cutting to 185. I think Gumby could, or he used to.
I used to make 79 back in the day for jiu-jitsu tournaments.
6'3". You
6'3" and made 79. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some skinny Gumby. All right, so this tall boy is 5-3, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. So he's finished everyone. He's been knocked out once, 1-1 in LFA. He's won 3 of 4 and 3 of 6. Doesn't sound as good though when you go back 3 of 6. TKO win in his last bout. I think one of those 3 are one of the ones that Gumby picked him in too. I'm assuming maybe the one. The very last
did he fight Party Time?
I can't remember. Wes Schultz.
Yeah, I think he fought Party Time, and I think I picked him to like land a knee, and he looked so goddamn awful.
Party Time versus Tall Boy. Yes, he got TKO'd by the Party Boy in April 2024. So that would have been the fight that made Gumby a Adland Benson adversary. All right. So he did win his last fight after that. TKO win. Used to fight up at 205, 5 inches taller than Kropschot. Kropschot is the land animal. Gumby.
I love it.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
He took a category instead of getting specific. I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just like Jeopardy categories or what? So was it just a Kropschot with his nickname? Kropschot.
Yeah, I got it.
I would have his nickname should be Crapshoot. That would be much better. You got to have him on your show.
Kropschot.
Yeah, Kropschot would be an amazing name. Maybe that'll be the name of the episode. I was going to name it definitely LFA sandwich, but I think we found
Kropschot.
We got to find out why he's named the land animal, don't we?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Kropschot. That's definitely going to have to be the episode title with K. Kropschot with a K. All right. Enough of that. But you do have to have him on your show, as I said before. Or someone has to tell us why he's named the land animal. He's 6 foot. He's 6'3", not 6'3". He's 6'3". 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. So he's finished everyone, and he has been knocked out twice, submitted once. So everything has been inside the distance. He owes his rounds. 0-1 in LFA. He's won 2 straight. Before that, he lost 3 straight. He has not lost though since November 2021. Maybe since he turned into a land animal, he stopped losing. He's fed at 170, 1-1 in combat jiu-jitsu, which you've never done, right, Gumby?
I've never. No, I don't like the open hand smacks.
Your face is too pretty for that. Yeah. All right, break it down.
I'm gonna go with Kropschot. I think for me in this one, well, first of all, line wise, I expect him in like the negative 160 kind of area, like more than 1.5, but like negative 160, 65 maybe. And the reason I like him is just like, it's what I said for Benson. Like I originally had picked him to beat some strikers or even some grapplers in terms of who he was fighting, just because I was like, he's lanky, he throws knees. And then like if he whiffs on that knee, he gets taken down and beat up on the ground. And that's kind of a bummer. And, I was watching Kropschot's stuff and, does he look great on the feet? No, but he does kind of use length well. And like, Benson's used to being way taller than all the people he's fought. And like Kropschot is 6'3". So like he's not giving up that much height in this one, and he uses the reach well. So I think that might be a problem for Benson. And then if he gets in and gets the takedown, Kropschot's jiu-jitsu is pretty damn sharp. I was kind of surprised at how good he looked on the mat. both in transitioning between positions, grabbing submissions, like all that kind of stuff. He's a really sharp jiu-jitsu specialist. So I think you're going to see Benson get dragged to the ground. You're going to see him look like a fish out of the water, and you're going to see Kropschot win this one.
See, Gumby's holding a grudge here for sure, but this is not a crapshoot of a pick, though. No. He told you why. All right. Enough of the crapshot jokes. Let's move on. Adland, Benson catching not strays. They're actually meant for him, not strays. Gumby is aiming right for him. All right. We're going to bantamweights. I think Gumby's picking this fight because he wants me to say the name of one of these fighters. Not Allan Begosso. I know him. I know his name. He's from Brazil. He's fighting someone named Davaajamts Batsuren from Mongolia. And Gumby, how do you say his name for real?
Davaajamts Batsuren.
Are you sure about that? Or are you just saying it?
No,
like I'm authority, and then people.
No, I say things with authority. You know how that's how I roll.
I know you just say it with authority, and then people will believe you. Maybe we have some Mongolian viewers or listeners that can correct your pronunciation. His nickname is Tendon, Gumby. We have the nicknames are on fire.
I love that.
Tendon. I don't know if that means something different in Mongolia, but okay. He's named after a body part. I guess,
but again, a category again, kind of like
exactly, like land animal,
like the land animal. Some tendons, but like one of them.
Yes, his nickname is Sinew. No, it's Tendon. 8-6, 3 submissions. He's been knocked. Maybe he wrecks people's tendons. Maybe that's why. He's a submission guy. 2 knockouts, 1 submission. Has gone against him. He's 0-1 in LFA. I said that very awkwardly. 1-2 over his last 3, 4-2 over his last 6. He did win his last bout though. He's fed at 145 and 155. 1-0 as a pro grappler, 4 inches height over Begosso, 1 inch of reach. Begosso's mini, 8-3-1, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions, never been finished in a fight. 4-2 in LFA, 1-2 over his last 3, 2-3 over his last 5. He did win his last bout. He went 0-1 on Contender Series. Gumby's can tell you who he lost to.
Fareed? Oh no, was it? Yeah, it was Fareed.
Yeah, you're right.
Basharat. Yeah,
one of the Basharats.
But it was
Which
Fareed.
one's the good one now? Neither of them are the good one now, right?
They're both still good at fighting.
Yeah, they're okay. All right. Used to fight at 125, 2014 Pro MMA debut, 8 years younger than Batsuren.
I think Begosso, with his pedigree and then the bad record of Batsuren, is going to be a massive favorite. I'm going to say Begosso is like -400. And here's going to be my big swing of the week. I'm going to take Batsuren.
People are going to get so mad at you for this.
I mean, I got another fighter.
When it hits.
Did you see the fighter who hated on me recently?
That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
The guy who knocked out
tomorrow's episode. I'll send it out to him tomorrow.
Yeah. I gave him props, and then he just liked it, which I appreciated. He didn't want to trash on me more than that. Props where props are due. You proved me wrong.
He speaks with his actions.
Yeah, so maybe Begosso will come after me here. But Batsuren, look, I kind of like his wrestling. Like every single time I've seen him put somebody up against the cage, he looks really good at holding him there, and that's kind of been a trouble for Begosso before. Now, granted, against a much higher level of competition, right? For Basharat and some of the other guys he's fought. I want to say he used to fight for CFFC. But like some of the other dudes he's fought, like he had trouble with them. But I think Batsuren can give him trouble. The other thing I think too, and I was watching the film on Batsuren, and like he looked good on the feet for parts. Like he threw some leg kicks. He had some pretty good shots on the feet, but like he looked unsure of himself. And I think it was just that they were fighting on what looked to be like a slippery slide. Like I
that could be a new sport. Dude, Russia's going to do that for sure.
It looked like it was made of the same material as like a tarp maybe, but mixed with like a garbage bag because it was like black and shiny. Shout out to the organization Primal Warfare, which is where he fought last. Good fight name, and also fantastic garbage bag mats. But like he looked like he was like slipping and sliding on it, like he couldn't find his footing. And even then, he was still pretty good in terms of his grappling. So, with Begosso, that being his sort of weak spot of getting trapped underneath people, and I think Batsuren can exploit it. That's the kind of guy you want at like 3.5 to 1 money, right? It's like if you're gonna get behind somebody, and like we've scored on a bunch of them over the course of this show. It's always like a dude who's kind of got sneaky wrestling, who's going to just like take down the guy who's got that as a problem his whole career.
So, some promotion like Fight Circus has to have like Eddie Hall fight like conjoined triplets on like a slip and slide. All right.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I mean, it looked pretty darn slippery. Not like Nicholas Dalby blood slippery.
That was crazy
from that Cage Warriors fight, but like in that realm.
All right, sorry, what was the number? You said -400. So the other way it's going to be
plus 350, maybe. Yeah,
nice. Depends what kind of vig that the casinos are trying to take from you. Hopefully not whatever that one we were quoting the other episode with the crazy.
Yeah, hopefully
crazy
it got the hell out of there.
Yeah, not mybookie.ag. That's for sure. All right. Should I? Nah. Let's tell you about some of our sponsors, shall we? Edge Boost. I don't want to forget to tell you about Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors. Ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards. And 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with their promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by the aforementioned mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs, which are raging on right now. Plus props for every game for the True Degens, the MyBookie money bag, where you get a random future bet. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposits, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out the Al Horford lines, and of course, they will have LFA 208 lines up there shortly as well, if they don't already by the time you are consuming this content. Head to mybookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. All right, we are already third from the top of the card in the welterweight bout. Luis Francischinelli. So it's basically, he's got like multiple names, but it's all one last name. Francischinelli versus Angelo Rivera Jr. Brazil versus United States of America at welterweight. 3 5-minute rounds. Rivera Jr. is Prince. I didn't know you guys had monarchy in the States, but apparently you do. Prince is 6-1 with 1 no contest, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. This is his debut. Oh, he owes his rounds. So that's definitely a round owing math right there. This is his LFA debut. He's won 4 straight, all via finish. Has not lost since December 2021. As I bumped my table, I used to fight at 185. Francischinelli, 4-0 with 4 knockouts. He definitely owes his rounds. All those fights have taken place in LFA. He used to fight at 185. 4 years younger than Rivera Jr., 6 inches taller.
Yeah, Francischinelli is going to be, I don't know, negative 800 favorite in this fight. Maybe higher. Yeah, maybe higher than that. I mean, he's 6'6". He's a surgeon on the feet.
Tall boy.
Yeah, he's not tall boy. That's a different guy.
Not
That's
the tall boy.
No, he's the other. But like he's 6'6" at welterweight, which is like pretty nuts. And like
he hasn't broken your heart yet either, which is
no. I don't think he's gonna for a while too. Like this guy's got contender series written all over him. I just don't know if he'll have the fights for this summer, or if he's gonna have to wait till next year. But just like pieces people up with elbows as he closes in because he's got all that length. Uses a really long jab. I've seen some people try to take him down, and he's got really good hips in terms of like, stuffing their head to the floor. And some of that is just because he uses his range so well that nobody actually is able to close the distance on him. And then when you watch Angelo Rivera, like I'm not taking anything away from him. The guy has had a billion fights and it has kind of been beat up once in a while. Like he had 25 amateur fights before he turned pro.
Yeah, you're telling me that off air. He's got a crazy amount.
And it was like, I want to say he was like, 14-11 or something as an amateur, and like, took a bunch of losses in kind of brutal ways. And as a result, like, he fights like somebody who's had 40 fights in his career. Because guess what? He's damn near had 40 fights in his career, and he's fighting a guy who's had 4 and then like a handful of Emmys where he beat up, somebody's plumber. And so Francischinelli is just going to, he's going to piece him up. And I didn't give a technical breakdown to Rivera yet, but like kind of sloppy on the feet. He leans way forward when he's striking.
Oh, we don't like that.
Well, I like it better than leaning backwards. Leaning backwards to get out of range, but he's leaning forward like as he's trying, and it means like his feet are underneath him well enough. So like then I don't trust him to like actually crack. And instead, like Francischinelli is going to be like the one landing all the power. It should come early in the fight. If you're trying to make this sweeter in whatever sportsbook you use, hopefully mybookie.ag, use promo code MMA SGPN. But hopefully whoever you're using has props, and then just take his KO prop in the round 1, because that's where it's the way it's going down.
And you possibly, if he gets a 5-0, will he go to Contender Series?
I mean,
and Dana White would be like, "No, you need more experience, bro."
They bring 5-0 guys in, right? And then that's when Dana annoyingly says exactly what you said.
Exactly.
But like if they bring him in, like I could see him piecing somebody up if they gave him the right matchup and getting himself a contract. Because the striking. I haven't seen enough of the defensive grappling and what happens when he's put on his back. He sort of seems like a like a Peyton Talbot level prospect right now, where like the striking plays, and I'm not, maybe not as high as Peyton Talbot, but like I'm sure the striking would play, but I'm not sure what happens when he runs into who did Peyton Talbot just run into, that old dude? Why can't I remember his
I've locked
name?
it out of my mind already. I will look it up.
It was ugly. But anyway,
Francischinelli is your pick. Peyton Talbot, who did he just lose to? People are screaming, you guys are supposed to know about these things, and you don't. Like, you are supposed to be my memory
gummy. Brazilian guy who I always
that helps.
For.
HOPENY Barcelos. HOPENY Barcelos.
Yeah, HOPENY Barcelos. Yeah.
HOPENY. All right. Francis, I'm just checking how old this Francischinelli guy is. 26 or so. So
Perfect.
Dana can't say he's too young, but he's too inexperienced, is what he'll say if it gets to that point. All right, we have an Assyrian next. We don't get a whole bunch of Assyrians. Is this the Assyrian we've talked about before? I think we have talked about an Assyrian before. This one is named Georgii.
So, actually,
not this guy. Wow, there's more than one fighting. Georgii Eivas versus Jacob Rosales. Rosales is from the United States of America. These guys are in the co-main event, catchweight 150. Do you know why it's catchweight? It doesn't look like it's short notice. As far as
I think it is short notice. Rosales was supposed to fight in a different promotion last week.
Okay.
So I don't know if it. Yeah, like he went through a whole training camp.
Topology doesn't have it, so that's why. Sorry.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight in UFL last week.
Okay, cool. All right, let's break her down now. He's fighting here instead. Step up, basically. LFA co-main event too. Let's tell you about Rosales first. He's Lil Badger. I'm Lil Campster. He's Lil Badger. 15-9, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. 3-2 on LFA. He's won 2 of 3, 2 of 5, 4 of 9. Did lose his last bout. That was back in February 2024. He went 3-0 on Bellator, RIP. 0-2 on Contender Series. Can you name both the people he lost to, Gumby?
JSP?
Yep, that's correct.
One of them.
Sacrilegious.
And did he lose? Is he the one who lost to the Fortis MMA guy who got 3 kicks of the can? Nope, I don't think so. I'm not going to come up with the second one.
He lost to Victor Martinez.
Oh, nope, wouldn't have gotten that.
There you go. You didn't get it. All right. Regional champ used to fight at 145, 155, 170. Now he's at 150. He's got an inch of height over Eivas or Eivas. I'm assuming it's Eivas. Eivas is the Assyrian assassin. Say that 10 times fast. 10-6 in the UFC, not in the UFC. 10-6 overall. He wishes. 8 knockouts, 2 submissions. So he's finished every one. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. This is his LFA debut. He's won 3 straight. He's not lost since March 2023. He used to fight at 145 and 155, so he's right in the middle now. 1-0 as a pro Muay Thai fighter.
I think Rosales is going to be the favorite. Just the level of experience. It's not like Eivas is the prospect who they're trying to feed the Contender Series guy to here. So I think Rosales, maybe like negative 145, somewhere in that range. And I'm going to take him in this fight. I think from what I've seen from Eivas, his striking looks good, but it also looks really predictable. Like he's a guy who throws, rote is the right word for it. Like he throws like he's hitting a heavy bagger. He throws like he's hitting mitts. Like exactly what the combination is going to look like. There's no variability to it whatsoever, which is almost the exact opposite of Rosales. Rosales gets in your face. He throws heavy volume. His combinations have like 4 or 5 punches in it, and like sometimes to his detriment, he just hangs around a little bit too long and gets cracked. And it's been a problem for him in the past, especially, fighting a big dude like JSP. Like that's going to cause him problems. But like he gets in your face, he forces you to throw with him. It gets real messy. And I think that's going to be tricky for Eivas because like when Rosales starts moving a little bit and mixing up his strikes, he's also going to get the reads on what Eivas throws in. Like, I don't know that Eivas can vary what he throws enough to give him trouble. I also just don't think Eivas' takedowns are going to be a factor at all. I think this largely takes place on the feet. As you mentioned, he's fought Muay Thai before. He does mix a takedown in here or there, but I don't find them particularly impressive. I think Rosales has got the game to defend those. So I'm going to take Rosales basically just on his volume. I trust his volume, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that his chin holds up.
All right. So that is your pick for the co-main event. Before we get to the main event, let me tell you that it is time for Gumby's bonus underdog pick'em play first. Underdog just launched their new game, Ladders. Win up to 500 times watching your favorite players climb the ladder. All right, Gumby, what's our play for today?
So we're going to go to Boston Celtics, second round, game 1. You know what we like to do here. Al Horford, higher than 3-pointers made. He only had 1 in their clinching game in the first round, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, the Magic, completely different team here than what they're facing in the it's the Knicks, right? I'm not mistaken. It's the Knicks, right? Yeah. Yep. So let's get Al Horford going from the corner, get a couple of 3-pointers in there, and hit the higher than.
It's probably going to be what, 1.5 more than likely.
They sometimes give me just a half on the projection.
Perfect.
Which seems criminal.
Yeah, respect Al Horford, people. All right, so that is the play, and our code is MMASGPN. When you head over to underdogfantasy.com, you get a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits if you use our code. Only if. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. And Rhythm, RITHMM. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs with an MLB prop market with Rhythm. Building your model is simple and easy. Rhythm knows you'll love it, and that's why they include a 7-day free trial. Check out the Al Horford lines. Gumby just told you, Al Horford. I'm sure they'll have some good Al Horford 3-point projections over on Rhythm, and they also have some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25, and 50% off an annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we're to the main event already, and it is not for any gold, at least not at this moment. 3 5-minute rounds, 155. Chris Mecate for the United States of America. Javier Reyes from a colorful flag place named Colombia. Let's break her down, shall we? Telling you about Reyes first. He is Blair is the nickname, obviously, right? 20-4, 9 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. 1-1 in LFA. He's won 2 straight and 10 of 11. The past 2 wins have come via TKO. He's got multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Get sticky with it. Used to fight at 145, 2014 Pro MMA debut, 3 inches reach over at Mecate. Mecate is 10-2, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 2-1 in LFA. He has won 4 straight, 2 straight via TKO, just like Mr. Reyes. He used to fight at 145, 2 inches of height over Reyes.
I think Mecate probably -185 here, and he's my pick. The thing about Reyes is his only loss was to Larian Douglas, and you know how high I am in Larian Douglas. I'm like, he's not a contender series hopeful in my mind. He's a just stick him in the UFC already hopeful. Let's not waste our time with silly contender series fights for Larian Douglas, and I'll die on that shield if I have to. But like Javier Reyes' only losses to him. And the thing about Larian Douglas and the way that he fights is he's going to march you forward. He's going to throw absolute bombs, and his cardio is better than yours. Like, that's just the way he fights. And Chris Mecate, actually, I think they have the same management team. I think they're both Bloodlines people, which means I think all the Bloodlines people also train together too. I think that's a Cub Swanson thing, if I'm not mistaken. But Chris Mecate fights with that similar mentality, bites down on the mouthpiece, comes forward, gets in your face, is a problem, and then also has a little bit of wrestling too. Like, is a pretty damn good wrestler on top of that, which you can't say about Larian Douglas, right? Larian Douglas is just like, he's going to throw them bungalows and let him go. And meanwhile, Mecate is, can mix in the grappling, is dangerous with the hands, is going to back him up. I just think he follows Larian Douglas's game plan to a T. And continues to back Reyes up against the cage where he's not as good and is going to be in trouble to be hit and taken down.
All right, what was the number you said for Mecate again?
I said like -185.
Okay, cool. 83% on Tapology, which is
that's much higher than I expected. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, not good. All right,
Reyes is 10-1 in his last 11. Put some.
Yeah, come on. Give the guy some respect.
Books should believe in him.
Some respect. Exactly. Everyone believe in him except for our listeners and our viewers. All right, let's recap before we hit the lightning round. He's got Mecate. He has got Rosales. He has got Francischinelli. That's one person. He has got. I missed this one. He's got Batsuren as a big dog. He's got Kropschot. All right, lightning round. Zap, bam, boom, pow. Gumby, let her rip.
So I got a whole bunch of big boys here that I'm going to put on my lightning round. First one is Georgii. We've talked about him already. Former football player turned beast mode grappler, but it's not just like that fun wrestling style that he brings, but it's also the jiu-jitsu. I really like him. I think he's probably, this win would make him 5-0. He might be a guy who winds up on Contender Series too, because he's a heavier guy. Is he a heavier guy? How big is Georgii? Now that I'm remembering.
Let me check for you.
He's not as big as the other two guys I'm going to talk about, I don't think. Or is he? No, he's a heavyweight.
Hoken is heavyweight.
Yeah, so he's bigger than the guys I'm going to talk about. And then I like Isaiah Pinson. He's a guy who's had some pretty high level fights despite being only 3-1. He's fought at heavyweight, but is coming down to light heavyweight for this one. I like him in that one. And then I'm going to go Shaler Ladd. He definitely didn't impress in his first fight the way I was thinking, but you can see all the pieces there. And I'm just hoping he puts it together. So that's Shaler Ladd, Josh Hockett, and Isaiah Pinson.
You better put it together or Gumby will give you some hate like he gave Tallboy at the start of this episode. All right, you're all set for LFA. You can get more intel from us via the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord, in the fights channel, the comments on YouTube. If Gumby picked against you and you're a fighter, get in there. Let him have it. Let him have it. Assuming that.
Or if I picked you, you can hit me up too. That's how me and Steven Asplund became friends.
Exactly. That would be MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube, of course. Twitter, SGPN MMA. Gumby runs that for us. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there. And on Instagram, check out my Substack. Enter my UFC Pick'em contest for this coming weekend's UFC pay-per-view at moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has the Top Turtle MMA podcast. It wasn't 100% jinx last week. Only 67%. Who is risking their career by being on your show this week, Gumby?
Iman Zahabi and Modestas Bukauskas.
There you go. Good way of putting it. A risk in their careers. No, that's Iman Zahabi is always actually both those guys are always good interviews on Gumby's show. Bukauskas is his accent.
His accent throws you off every time.
Yep. Just because of the name. I know he's British, but it still throws me off.
He's Turtle. Lithuanian, right? Like he's originally. But he spent most of his life in Great Britain.
Yep. So that's Top Turtle. Of course, we are at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Gumby and I are pumping out content on that nonstop, as are a bunch of other talented writers and content creators. Love that term. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get some bonus content. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store to get some merch, some swag. We're getting back. We're going to finish off the bread of the PFL of the FA sandwich tomorrow. Gumby's going to bid you farewell till then.
All right, I'm Data Gumby Vreeland. He's the sea animal, Jeff Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.